Hello and welcome to the W. Mason Coach Report with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you for having me today.
Coach, we're on the road to the two best teams in the conference, and you guys really completed well against Towson and James Madison. Just take us through those two games and what you liked from your team in those games.
Yeah, I think our backs were up against the wall going into this weekend, and we were very resilient all weekend long. Very tough game, hard-fought game against a really great Towson team. I thought offensively this whole weekend, Alyssa Perella really played extremely well. Alexa Matera really stepped up for us in between the 30s, along with Carly Ancona, who also had a big game for us against Towson. And it might not seem that way just because the other teams did score quite a few goals, but I thought defensively we played pretty solid. Some goals were off a transition because of turnovers on attack, but I thought defensively we did play solid to be able to keep us in the game at some points, and Maddie Fields played really well. So unfortunately, two tough losses, but against really two great teams, and we got another great competition coming into this weekend.
The Towson game, it's developed into quite a nice rivalry for you guys. What about that rivalry makes you guys able to compete so well against a team who came to this year's game 8th in the nation?
Yeah, I just think we match up very well against Towson, and generally in our conference, I think no game is guaranteed. Anybody can win the game just because of the way the teams are built, and our conference is it's like a backyard brawl. Anyone can win the game, and you can see that this weekend with our games against Towson and JMU. But against Towson, I think it is a good rival game for us, and the kids really step up and show up. Unfortunately, Towson just made a few more good plays than we did on Friday night.
And the JMU game, you guys probably had the best offensive game against JMU in conference this season. What did you like from the team offensively in that contest?
Yeah, we were moving the ball well once we settled in. I thought it took us a little time to settle in, which caused a lot of JMU's goals. But once we did settle in, we were able to move the ball very well and challenge their defense and to challenge their goalkeeper. You wish that you could settle in a little bit quicker, but overall, a lot of really great ball movement, a lot of great things to take away from this weekend. Especially since there's a lot of youth on the team, and you could saw a lot of positives out there on the field moving forward.
And speaking of some youth, you mentioned earlier, Alexa Matera has really gotten much more consistent as the season progressed. Would you agree with that? And this weekend she really flowed into the offense a little more.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at it compared from last year going into this year. Last year the kid had 9 goals and 3 assists. She had 12 points on the season. This year she's got 40 goals and 6 assists. So you're talking from a 12-point jump to 46 points in 1 year. And Alexis really only has so much more upside going to her over these next 2 years. She's really only started playing the game of lacrosse and learning it now in college. She was a big basketball player throughout high school, never really played lacrosse that much. So a lot of big jump from Alexa, and I think she's huge for us in the midfield. Really, really tough, very lengthy, and gets a lot of ground balls and cause turnovers for us. Really has stepped up offensively and, can play really great defense. So really excited about, Alexa's breakout sophomore year, but looking for the forward going to the junior and senior year. But again, we have a tough opponent against High Point on Thursday, so really looking for Alexa to come up big for us.
Another area she's excelled in, second most draw controls in a single season. She has 65 this season, an area you obviously needed help with with Alyssa being slightly injured and not taking as many draws.
Yeah, I think it was huge. Alyssa, has been battling some injuries this year, and so we've had to change up some of the draw control stuff. And I think Alexa has really stepped up big for us, along with Darcy taking some of these draws and Katie Whalen. But Alexa is extremely tough and very hard to stop on the draw circle.
And speaking of Alyssa Perella, just another incredible weekend against high-level competition. The numbers are just getting ridiculous at this point, but 11th player in program history with 100 goals, already in the top 10 in scoring, fastest in school history. What did you like from her this weekend? Obviously, what have you liked from her in her 2 years so far?
Yeah. Alyssa's playing really good lacrosse right now. I think she's really turned it on for the end of season, but I also think that's due to her getting a little bit more healthy. And she's just a tremendous person. Let's just start there. She's just a tremendous person, works extremely hard in everything that she does. Great kid to be around, always wants to get better, asking questions every day at practice, after practice, how did this go? What can I do better with this? watches plenty of film, and is a great leader for us on the attacking side of the field. I think the team really feeds off of her energy and her passion that she has for the game, and you can really start seeing that come out here towards the end of the season. And her numbers are are ridiculous, but I think that just shows how good of a player she is. 76 points as a freshman, and now 76 points as a sophomore, with one more regular season game to go, and and she's doing that, battling injuries and putting up those numbers and getting tough opponents marked up on her every game. So really happy for Alyssa, and the incredible career that she's having, and the incredible career she's going to continue to have. I know Alyssa for herself, wants the team to win and wants the program to do well, and is really looking forward to our game this week.
And speaking of your game this week, a great opponent, one that maybe Hofstra fans and Long Island lacrosse fans might not know a lot about. High Point, nationally ranked, 14-2. I'm sure you've seen a little of them on tape already. What kind of challenges do they present your team?
Yeah, it's going to be a great game for us. We're really excited that we were able to put a High Point on our schedule. They consistently win their conference. They beat Towson last year in the NCAA tournament in the second round. So just really, really excited for that. And they're really tough offensively. A lot of weapons offensively. Kids that can assist, kids that can score goals. Defensively, they're really tough. They play a really tough defense, don't let up a lot of shots, and they've had some major upsets this year, beating teams like Notre Dame and Duke, and now they're ranked 16th, 17th in the country. So just excited for another challenge, another day to be able to compete with one another. And last game for our seniors on the home field in regular season. So really looking forward to basically hopefully being able to honor them and getting a win for them in their last collegiate game, regular season game home at James M. Stewart Stadium.
As we wait for the conference office to kind of figure out the tiebreaker scenario, obviously Hofstra needs a Drexel win over Delaware on Friday to possibly advance to the conference tournament. Is there a conversation you have with your team now, or you just wait to see what these tiebreakers are going to figure out?
Yeah, no, we're our motto. We're very upfront with our players, and I think they respect that and like that. So it's definitely a conversation that we've already had. And obviously I'm waiting to hear back just with the tiebreakers and the clarification on that, and we'll just tell our team. And I think at this point it's out of our control, and our faith is in other people's hands, and it's kind of the cards that we're dealt with right now, and we're going to deal with it, but we're going to focus on what we can focus on and what we can control. And what we can control right now is having 2 great regular season practices left with our team, and one great game on Thursday night, and then we'll see what happens to the rest of our season on Friday.
Well, Coach, wish you good luck with a great game on Thursday against High Point.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us in the W. Mason Coach Report with head women's lacrosse coach Shannon Smith.